Alright, so in the last video we created our course model, and for the next one, let's see, we're gonna start with the article model. Okay, so we go to our article model thingy here. Into Xcode, we're gonna create a new file, and we're gonna call this article model. Article model, perfect. In here we're gonna do import fluent, and after that we're gonna do final class. And this is going to be article model, and this is going to be model, and under there we're going to create an extension of article model, and this is going to be content. Okay, so first thing we're going to do mark, and this is going to be the database scheme or schema, and under there we're going to do let no, wait a second, to a static let schema is equal to database schemas dot one second, right? Why isn't it seeing it? Database schemas, here it is. And that is gonna be articles dot raw value. Let me see if we did that here as well, because I'm not sure. It has been a few days since I recorded this video. Yes, it is. All right. So after that, we need the field keys, right? And as we decided before, we put the field keys all in one file like this. So under the last extension, we're gonna do extension of article model. Open it up. Mark article field keys, and under there we're gonna create a struct of field keys. Okay. So we need title, slug, intro, excerpt, content. Okay. So static var title is a field key, and this is going to be a string of title. Static var, that's going to be slug, and the slug is going to be a field key as well. And of course we're going to give the string of slug. Static var intro, and this is going to be a field key as well. This probably, when you're watching this video and you're coding with me, it's probably really boring at the moment because you're actually doing a lot of the same stuff. But when you're building a new project like this, you need to do this anyway, so why not? And I think it's actually really cool that you see me, for example, building a complete project from scratch, especially for new viewers or even viewers who are already watching my videos. It's actually really funny, and I actually enjoy when I'm coding or when I watch like these videos where they create like a messenger app from iOS Academy. I really enjoyed that one. I actually, as an iOS developer, followed that one as well. I will place a link in the description below if I don't forget, because it's actually an amazing video. If I ever get the chance to cooperate to do how do you call this, a cooperation video with him, or to make a video with him together, I will definitely say yes, because because he's an amazing developer. So this is going to be header image, and the header image, that's actually something that we're going to implement in the front end as well later. Author, field key, this is going to be author. Oh, we need the static var over there. And this is exactly how coding works, right? When you're coding, sometimes you make mistakes. Content state, field key, And we're going to do content date, static var. Then we have is published. I don't think we need published because we already have the content state. So that means if it's draft or as published, but we can actually add a content role. So var content role. So first we go back to I go back to here, and after published, we're gonna give this a content role. So that way, yeah, that way it's just easier. So field key, and this is gonna be, this has to be capital K, content role, and after that, static var. I think we forgot the created at and updated at. Oh, this has to be created at, sorry. Static var updated at is field key, and this is going to be updated at, and maybe we can actually also add publish date, so the date when it was published, so like we did in the course. So static var publish date field key, and it's going to be publish date. That this has to be an S. Publish date. Yes. Okay. So I think we have everything for our article model. Now I'm going to change the change this a little bit around. So we also added the created at. We added the updated at. And we added the publish date. So just for information, for example, we have created at and publish date. These are not the same because sometimes sometimes I create an article like 2 weeks in advance and I set a publish date, and this way we can actually automate it. So we don't need we don't need to worry about that. Okay, so we have all the field keys. Let's go back to article model, and inside the article model we're gonna do at ID. Var ID is equal to UUID is an optional. Add field. It's going to be key, and this is going to be field keys. Dot. First, we're going to do title. Var title is equal to string, and we're actually going to do the same thing here. So we're actually going to make most of the stuff optional because I actually wanted to that we can actually create empty. That we actually can create empty, empty articles for drafting and stuff like that, so that we don't have to annoy the user with like error messages all the time. And yeah, you know what I mean. So slug is going to be string field keys, and this is going to be intro. Var intro is equal to string optional. Add field key field keys dot excerpt, and var excerpt is equal to string. Add field key. This is going to be field keys dot content. So the content is actually, in this case of the article, content is actually the article itself. So that's the article that we're going to save into the database. Later, I'm also going to show you guys how you can actually save, how you can actually save the markdown and everything. But that's a little bit more complicated, so we're going to talk about that later. It's going to be field keys dot category. I'm not sure what we're going to do with category because category is a parent. So let's comment this out for a little while because we're going to work with parent relationships later. After that, key, and that's going to be header image. Oh, we forgot something. Field keys dot header image. Header image is going to be in URL, so header image, it's the URL. Add field key. That's going to be author. And before that, we of course we need field keys dot author var author is equal to string. And maybe in the front end we can actually make author like an anchor, like that when a visitor clicks on that, they actually see like how you say, they actually see a profile with all the information of that person. Content state is equal to content state at field key field keys dot we're gonna do content role. That's this one. Oh, wait a second. Content state is published content role. Okay, yeah, okay, that's perfect. And we need to make this a capital. So var content role is equal to content role. And the whole reason we have a content role is so that we actually know if it's an article, if it's a course, if it's an ebook, and so on and so on. Then we have key. This is going to be field keys dot. That's going to be saved by users. Wait a second. I think we forgot something. Let's go to field keys. Yes, we forgot something. We're going to do static var saved by users. And we're going to give this a field key saved by users. Okay. This is a little bit more advanced actually, because now we actually have to create a saved by users, and this is going to be an array. So this means saved by users is an array of user model dot id of id value, but I think we can also do strings. You know what? We don't need user model. Let's do string. Yes, and we have to initialize this by making this an empty array. Field. After that, we're going to call key, and then we have created at field keys dot created at var created at is going to be date. Oh, and first let's make these optional as well. Content state. No, content state. This is not an optional because we actually need it. And content role. Yeah, we need that one as well, so we can actually fill that in automatically later. Created that is going to be optional at field key, and this is going to be field keys dot updated at var updated at is date at field, and last but not least is field keys dot publish date. This is going to be var publish date is also date. And we're actually not going to give, we're also going to make this an optional, because the moment when the content state is a draft, we don't need the publish date. So that means when it's saved, but there's not, but there's no publish date yet, It's just saved as a draft, so it's not sent to the front end, right? Okay, after that, we're gonna need an empty init. And after that, we're gonna create another init. And in here, we're gonna start. So ID is equal to UUID is equal to nil. After that, we have title is string. This is an optional. Then we have slug is also string. And we have intro is string. Then we have excerpt is string. After that, we actually have content is string. And after that, we actually have the category, but we're not gonna do that yet because that's a parent. We're gonna look at that later. And the header image is a URL. And let's say we have author. It's gonna be string. And the author is actually the user who creates it, right? So the moment that you as a backend admin or something or moderator, you're creating something, then you're automatically the author. Then we have content state is equal to content state. After that, we have content role. This is going to be content role. And we didn't make those optional, so this is okay. After that, we have saved by users. And this is going to be an array of strings. Oh, wait a second. Let's make this one also an optional, the array. No. We're not gonna make it an optional. We're just not gonna fill anything in it. We're gonna look at that later. So then we have saved by users. Then we have created at. Created at. This is gonna be date. After that we have updated at. It's gonna be date. And after that we have publish date. As you can see, my Mac is getting a little bit slow. It's probably because I have something running on the background again. I have Docker running and some other software, but doesn't matter. So self.id is equal to id. Self.title is equal to title. Self.slug is equal to slug. Self.intro is equal to intro. Self.excerpt is equal to excerpt. Self.content is equal to content. Category we don't do yet. So then we have self.header image is equal to header image. Self.author is equal to author. Self.content state is equal to content state. Content role is equal to content role. Saved by users is equal to saved by users. Then created at is equal to created at. Self.updated at is equal to updated at. Self.publish date is equal to publish date. Okay, so we actually finished our article model. Let's save this one. So we're gonna finish this one. And after that, we have actually the category model. So in here, we're actually gonna start with the parent system. I'm still looking into how we're gonna do like the parenting, because what we actually can do, we can actually create like a category model like we did here, title, slug, and header image. And we can actually use the category model for our tutorials. We can use it for the articles, and we can also use it for maybe our courses, and maybe for how do you call it? Maybe for our podcast and stuff as well. But I don't really think we need to do that, but we can implement that. I will think about it. And yeah, as you can see now, we actually already almost finished with the models. We only need a few more. I think we're gonna do the ebook model later because this is something that I don't have time to write ebooks, so who knows? But we will see. So this was a shorter video than normal. As you can see now, we're actually starting to have like a beautiful application or a beautiful API. It actually starts coming together now a little bit. We actually have everything really nice and structured in different files. So this is going to be really interesting. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something, and let's go to the next video where we actually gonna start with the category system. See you later.